All right, we are here live at ISE 2025 at the HETMA booth, and I have a friend from Inogeni, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about the company.
Cool, thanks Britt. I'm Jeff Meyer, I'm Head of Sales at Inogeni, Chief Revenue Officer. ISE 2025, we're here exhibiting for, I think it's about the fourth year in a row. Relatively new for Inogeni. It's been a smaller company that's out of Canada, and I took over sales 3 years ago. And Inogeni is it's a really interesting company. It's sort of in between a lot of the AV hardware that people install in higher education spaces. So we mix, switch, and convert signals. That's sort of our mantra.
Okay.
And we basically provide a lot of solutions in between the source devices like cameras and computers that are in the room, like Microsoft Teams rooms or other equipment that are in classrooms and other learning environments.
So of your products, what would you say is most popular for the higher ed environment?
Yeah. So I think one of the cool things that we do really well is we solve for the meeting equity problem that we have. We have a lot of issues now where, especially post-pandemic, a lot of schools want their students to have the flexibility to learn both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Mm-hmm. So how do we really bridge that gap and give those remote users a really good and equal footprint to the proximate users, people that are actually in the classroom? And so we solve for that with our camera mixers and selectors. That's probably our biggest category for higher ed. So these devices allow you to add lots of cameras. And then we'll work with companies that are producing microphones like Nariva, and will allow speaker tracking to happen in that room so that when the teacher is speaking, boom, a command is sent to one of our switchers and it points the camera at the teacher. And then all of a sudden when the audience is interacting, it'll switch to the camera pointing at the audience, right? And so we'll allow that switching to happen, but also what we do is we even have a mixer that puts two images up on the screen at the same time. So in the classroom, you can see, you're part of the audience, you see the audience, you hear the audience, and you can see the teacher. But the remote people, they can't do that well. So that's when equipment like ours comes in, will actually feed two images at the same time to the remote user, so they're seeing the audience and the presenter at the same time, or the presenter and content at the same time, depending upon how the installer sets it up or the school prefers it.
That is awesome.
I think that's one of the biggest things that we do for higher ed. Yeah.
Great. Have you gotten any feedback from faculty?
Yeah, we have actually. So we've done some case studies. We did a big case study with UNLV, actually with our Share 2 solutions. So you can read about that on our website or probably even on the UNLV's site. And I think one of the things that we hear the most is that we're just really easy to use. We're really, the AV people at higher ed, they're looking for real simple, easy plug and play stuff that's not too complicated. So we try to stay out of that and just provide really consistent, reliable products. And by the way, that's another segue into another big benefit we had for education, and that is at the end of last year, I'm proud to say we announced a new 5-year warranty on all of our products. That's big for higher ed. We constantly got that request. We're a reliable brand. That's really how our company grew in the first place. And so we decided to go ahead and make that permanent and make it 5 years across the board.
Wonderful. I know for me, I've got a tight budget, so the more I can stretch and make sure things are under warranty, I sure appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. It really helps.
What do you want people here at ISE to know about your booth?
So first of all, you can find us at our stand, which is at 2N330. We're in Hall 2, right next to MaxHub, Logitech, QSYS. And we've got some great solutions for solving for BYOD and BYOM. So if a teacher wants to come in and plug in their laptop and have that one single USB-C connection that just connects them to the room, we've got that. If the AV people at the school are having a problem extending a camera over to a compute, we've got extenders, really good extenders to solve for those problems. And again, for that meeting equity thing, we've got great mixers and selectors to add more cameras and basically provide a better informative meeting for those remote users. That it's just a bigger and growing community these days is addressing the remote user, right?
Let's unpack meeting equity
yeah.
just a little bit more, because
Yeah.
I feel like that's so important.
Yeah.
Can you talk our listeners through what it is about your products that are really bringing that equity in?
Yeah. So I think the positive thing about the pandemic is everybody got used to Teams and Zoom and actually being on camera, and so that comfort level really increased. The bad news was that we weren't prepared for it, and so we've been struggling through a lot of meetings in the past where if you're not hearing or you're not seeing, you're just going to lose people, and the participation goes way, way, way down. So that's the net benefit is when you're giving a lot more information, clear audio, clear video, a clear picture of what's going on in the room. Those students that are remote aren't going to be sacrificed. They're going to be. It's almost impossible to give an exact environment that you get when you're actually in person.
Great. So I'm sure after hearing all of this, the people at home are probably super interested, and they're not here, so how can they find more about your products?
So you can go to inogeni.com. It's INOGENI.com. We say Inogeni. You can call it how you want. We've heard all sorts of pronunciations, but a lot of information there. We've got a pretty good website, and you can send an email to sales@inogeni.com. Also, if you just want to get an email back. But get in contact with us. If you don't know who we are, I really recommend you take a look at us. We really solve a lot of problems for the for AV issues in the education environment, and I highly recommend you take a look at us if you haven't seen us before. We've got some great stuff for you, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking time out of your very busy ISE to hang out with us at the HETMA booth.
Cool. Thanks, HETMA. See you, everybody.